Armando Balice. I'm very happy to finally have him here because there was a very long and windy past that he comes to here. So first I know him through the connection with JRM, the current JRM collective, which was here 2 years ago, presented the first time the work of him. It's also on the YouTube. And then we planned his performance for the year that didn't happen last year. And instead we made an artist talk in the series of Course of Knowledge, and this is in Russian and French, so it's on our channels that you can always go and check. And yeah, finally, congrats! I'm very happy Armando is here. And today, yeah, your concert is tomorrow, yeah. So everybody is very welcome. It's a beautiful piece, I know it, and we also had it, I think, as an octophonic, right, in the media studio. Is it? Yeah.
You already get it in octophonic, and this will be the stereo version.
So there's a difference, different format, and the artist is present. So let's just, I don't want to waste your time, so the stage is yours, and you have a microphone as well. Yeah, so here we go.
Thank you, Anton. Okay. First of all, I want to thank especially Anton, the Institut Français and the Alexandrinsky Theatre for having me here. It's been, yes, very difficult to get through all the administrative things, visa and things like that in the last days, and until the last moment we wasn't sure it was possible for us to come. So yeah, we are very happy, and we really want, I really want to thank everyone involved in the organization for this festival. Okay, I will try to do my best with English. Sorry if sometimes you don't understand. Please feel free to ask, and I will do my best to answer. Okay, so it's Anton asked me to do an artist tour, so I will start to talk about my background and how I came to electroacoustic music, and we will listen some extract from different pieces. I hope we have some time at the end to talk if you have questions, and maybe if there is some points that you want to, if you have a question also, you can ask, and I will answer during this presentation. Let's do it not too formally. Okay. So okay, how I come to electroacoustic music. I start music with a saxophone. I learned to play classical saxophone in a small music school in France. And for a certain amount of time, I was doing music because my parents brings me to music. It's often start like that. Your parents want you to, they are interested in certain things, and they try to educate you with different cultural things. And yeah, I start with the saxophone. I wasn't. I start naturally, and at the age of 10, my teacher told me, "Okay, you are not working enough. You are not too serious, and it can't continue like that. You have to make a choice." Or you stop playing music, or you broke. Okay, and that was the first time for me that I have to make a real choice for myself. I didn't know why, but I feel that it was not possible for me to stop studying music, and so I motivate myself, and I continue with the saxophone. And it goes like that until I don't know, until becoming a teenager. And I was into classical saxophone, and I like classical music, but I feel at this moment the need to explore other kind of music, and I was really interested into rock music, things like that, after that more particularly metal music, and I started to study guitar because it was not my idea to do metal with saxophone. So I started to play guitar, and with learning to play guitar, I discovered a whole other world of sound with distortions, things like that, more noisy sound, and other way of going into the sound. And these two things, classical music and all the music, all rock music, metal music, things like that, I think they are very important in the sound I now looking for in my music. Okay. And so for some years I play these two kind of music, contemporary okay, at the same time, conservatory and the guitar in all kind of venue. That's right. Okay, and it came also at 18 another moment where I have to do a choice, because after the final exam, when you have 18, you have to go to university, okay, or to do something else. And this moment was also important because it's another very important choice, and I didn't know very well what to do at that time. And I also asked myself, okay, what is important for you, and what you want to do. And the thing is that music was very important for me, but not especially metal music or especially classical music or the kind of music. I think I was interested in a lot of different kind of music, all different aesthetics, and all these aesthetics for different reasons. Because metal, the sounds are very more noisy, more punchy. Classical music is more more subtle. Jazz music is more free, with improvisation, all things like that. And all these aspects was very important to me. I was playing the saxophone. It was the way I got into institutions with the conservatory. So I continued in conservatory and studying musicology in a university. And one day we had a lesson on contemporary music, history of contemporary music, and the teacher, who was Philippe Langlois, maybe Daniil and Zico knows him well, and he talked about us, about Pierre Schaeffer, Pierre Henry, l'objet sonore, all things that Daniil just talked about. And for me it was something very new and something that immediately interested me. Because at that time I was also starting to record my saxophone, to record my guitar, and to look at how works sound with the computer. And I found in these things the link in electroacoustic music. I found the link with all the aesthetics that was very important to me. And since that moment, I tried to join a class, composition class of electroacoustic music, and so I studied a bit of harmony and in classical music, but really quickly I study only composition, electroacoustic composition. And since that time, I don't play a lot the saxophone anymore, even the guitar. I really put myself only into electroacoustic music since that moment. So now we can listen a short extract from a work that I did some years ago in 2015, and it's called Mes yeux sont des flammes noires, in French, my eyes are black flames. And just the first 3 minutes, and I think in this extract you can maybe feel a bit of my classical influence background, and I'm not metal, but an idea of the sound, more noisy sound, something like that. Okay. So this piece was it was my first piece played on an official concert of GRM with the GRM Acousmonium in the Band d'Essai that was organized in the last years for young composers' work and I sent it, and I was very happy that it was played there. We just listened the beginning of the piece, it's a piece that lasted 10 minutes, and that was just the first part, and you hear it kind of orchestral texture, and that was just a sample I picked in Rachmaninoff species. If I remember, it's the second concerto for piano, and this is something that I regularly did, is to pick some samples in some classical music that I like, and but I don't think we can recognize it easily, because it's stretched, it's filtered, and there are also transposition, and it's kind of recombined. It's not just the direct citation of his music. And yes, that was something in this work. I sampled some of classical composers' work. In the last part of this piece, there is another composer that I really loved. His music is Claudio Monteverdi, and I sampled just a little part of his opera L'Orfeo, and I built the music also around this. So let me pick this part of the piece. So once again, here you can hear the sample, the short sample of the voice that was picked in the opera, and I transpose it and repeat it and the sounds that goes with it are very linked to everything is pitching up slowly to rise like a climax of the music. And that make me think to something that is very important to me when composing. I really look every time looking for interaction between the sound. I don't. I like to put a sound and make the other sound going the same way. To me that allows to do a more orchestral song. I don't know how to say this in English, but it makes the things sound together. It's mixed together because it's not just different sound put together, but they have the same shape, the same direction. And this is something I think very important when composing. Okay, now I can talk about the process, how I start to, how I put myself when I start composing a new piece, for example. For me, it's very important to have guidelines. Before Daniel talked about rules, and to me it seems very important to, as a composer, I need to put my kind of my own rules, to know my direction and to know before starting to composing where I want to go. So often for me, the starting point of a new work is the title. The title is always very important to me because it's, when I choose the title, it's the first step in going to imagine how the piece will sound, about what emotion it will express, and how it's the first step in what I want to do with the music. So the title is always very important, and sometimes I can't start to work on to compose the piece till I haven't the title. So I remember when I got my first commission from the GRM. I knew it they asked for it in July, and I got just 1 week to get the title for the program notes, and it was very short to me because it is very important. So I have to take the time to think about it, and I did it. And sometimes it's good to have something you have no choice to do, because it's a way of make a choice. And so once the title was decided, I start building the piece around this idea. And the piece that is the one that was played in the last edition of this Acousmonium festival. And this piece was Black Garden. This piece was very important to me because it's kind of a work that is I can say kind of a synthesis of my way of composing music since I started. So in the last I think 12. I started to compose epoch music 12 or 13 years ago. So I think it's an important piece to me, and it gives me the idea after the first one to do a triptych with this piece, and the second piece of the triptych is the one I will play tomorrow, and I'm actually working on I'm now working on the third piece. these gardens triptychs. And here are the three pieces with their organization in different parts, and in each piece they all have eight parts, and you can see each piece is gets the second, fourth, and the sixth movement are the same, but they're now it's not the same music. It does just this part in the piece have the same roles, and they all integrate soundscapes that I have modified, sometimes a lot, sometimes not a lot, but they're all based on soundscape, and they all have a kind of transition. They are sort of transition in the different between the different movements, but not they are not too long. They are 1 or 2 minutes each time. Okay, let's listen a short extract from Black Garden, the first piece. The extract is, Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So here is a long. This is the third part of the work. behind the rocks. I entitled it like that. And it's a long crescendo that become more dense, and it's kind of a climax of this works. Not the final climax, but one of the climax. And okay, in all this piece, the movement are not necessarily. There is not necessarily a pause between the movements. Sometimes they just continue. It's more like an organization to me to structure the work. And I like to build everything around the ideas that I find or some inspiration that I have from exposition, from other composers, from other music, and I pick things in different different things that inspires me, and I built my own with all these things. And actually, the organization of this work has been inspired by a composer I really I was very impressed the first time I hear, and it's the works of Fausto Romitelli, which is an Italian composer. And I really, the first time I hear his piece, his works, I really find something that I was also looking for, the classical influence of music, and also the energy we can find in rock music. And he also use regularly electric guitars, and brings the electric sound and distortion sounds into his music, combined with classical instrument, vocal, opera style singers, and this was the world of sounds that really inspired me. And I composed a long piece which is entitled Noire Symphonie, which is Black Symphony, and this was very inspired by the formal organization of an important piece of Fausto Romitelli, which is an index of metals, which use also there is a voice all along the piece, which is very important. And this works was to make this piece before Black Garden was very important to me, because I think I explore new sounds in the process. Okay, I don't think we have 10 minutes left. So I want to show you, and don't hesitate if you have a question, feel free to ask. I want to show you the session, Pro Tools session of Black Garden. Here. And as Daniel said just before, all the sounds has their own names, and some that are reference to me, so that I can identify them. So when I'm composing, I always put the different parts, and sometimes I don't compose in the order. I can start with the beginning, after work on another movement of the piece, and I always working not only on one, not from the beginning to the end. It's very it changed a lot. So here can listen to the parts that use some soundscape. Okay, that was the first black one. The second one, I just remember seeing the session that it does have just a little part of soundscape, but most of this part is a cello. These parts are really very calm part, and they are linked. They make the link between the other parts that are more dense. You have some questions on the session, maybe? Yeah.
I don't have enough skills in English, but I will try. So you have title of your track, your future track, and after it, you try to feel these words, what it means for you, and how to develop these meanings in music with some sounds that you have, or you try to recording something that express this your metaphor in the title, or something else.
Yeah,
The
title is the starting. It's the starting point of the work. After that, I will make recordings, especially for the piece. For example, for this one, I work with a cellist, and we make two intense day of recording, and I get my ideas on the type of play I wanted for the piece. So I recorded sound specifically for the work. Also, always when I'm not composing a specific piece, I'm recording a lot of sounds that interest in me, and I built my personal sound list, and yeah, I built it regularly with the soundscape, synthesizer, objects that produce sound that I record, and also like in the work before and also in this one, I sometimes sampled also some music I like. Here, I think I put some Rachmaninoff also, but seen before, but don't remember where it is. Okay, and after I never, I don't compose. Okay, I have the sound, now I can compose. I pick the sound I'm interested in, and sometimes while composing, I add some other sound I source while composing. Even if I have my structure, sometimes when you are composing, there are some unexpected things, and you have to react to these unexpected things, and you have to make choices. Sometimes these unexpected things are very, very important to me. You build the organization so that these unexpected things can happen, and yet that you can react with it and do something with it in your piece. So it's never like, for me, it's not like everything is organized, everything is south, and you have no freedom after that. I need this organization. I need yes, to know what I will do. But once I'm doing it, I'm free to rearrange the things. But I really need these things, and sometimes I can't go very far on the piece until I'm not very sure where I want to go. And after I know how the piece is organized, why I want to know. Sometimes it can go very quick to compose the work. If I remember this one, which is a 20-minute piece, I received the commission in July. I give the title at the end of July, and the concert was at the end of January 19 January, if I remember well. And until December, I didn't really compose the piece. But I think a lot of what organization I want, what sounds I want to use. And in December, I had a lot of the sounds. I already recorded the cello, but I wasn't sure of the organization of the work, of the formal organization, the structure of the piece. So until the end, December, I didn't really compose the piece. And at this moment, I was in Tokyo. And I go to a museum, to an exposition, and this exposition really was in the direction I was looking for, and so it gives me a lot of things to think and to organize the work, and it was the last piece of the puzzle I was putting together. And since that, I composed the piece in less than 1 month. But at this time, once I had everything, I didn't need to record sounds anymore. I just need to do the piece. So it's like you are. The process could be quick if you know what you have to do.
Armando.
Si, Diego.
You can tell me, tell us, where your process to make the sounds, concrete sounds, electronic sounds, how you do your technique to record or to create your sound for your music. I know it's your secret.
No, I have no secret. I can tell you everything if you ask gently. But no, my techniques are. I record. I use both analog and digital techniques. Most of the synthesis sound are analog synthesis sound, and I really enjoy analog synthesizers, and I often work with this kind of sound. But even if I really love this kind of sound, I don't put it everywhere, of course. And I use also a lot of plugins when I transform the sound.
But you create a sound for make another sound, or you make a sound and then you make another sound. Your first idea is make a sound for with an idea
in the composition.
Yes.
They are both things to me. Sometimes I record sounds just because I like this sound, and sometimes I record sound because I need this sound for this specific work. That was the case of the cello at the beginning with this piece, Black Garden. I wanted the cello to be like the main part, like the virtuoso part of this piece, but still being acousmatic. But it turns finally that the cello was just a part of the sound, like the other sound. It appears regularly in the piece, and it has very important part to me, but we don't always recognize the cello as the central element. Also, yes, in this piece, all the sounds that are like the electric guitar is in fact the cello. There is no electric guitar in this work. Yeah, I like a lot of. I like the sound of distortion. So here in the sounds I make, there are some sounds made with analog distortion and some sounds made with digital distortion, because we can really have very different kind of distortion with these both techniques. And some distortion are very soft, just to have some harmonics, and we don't hear it clearly, but it makes the sound more punchy sometimes. And some are very sound like guitar, electric guitar. When composing, often I take a sound and I have an idea of what I want what I want with this sound, and I process it and see what the transformation gives me, and I rearrange and I try, I change sound until I get the sound that I like. But when I'm composing, even if I have an idea of the sound, it's just an idea, but I have to adapt this idea to the sound I'm actually having with the transformation. Sometimes it's very close, sometimes it's different, sometimes it's better than what you were expecting. Sometimes you expect something, but it doesn't work, so you have to change your ideas. And this is the things that I told just before, that I like there is kind of experimentation, but some unexpected things happen, and you have to react with this unexpected thing. But you can react to this unexpected thing because you know what you want also.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. The last question, because we have to kind of hurry up. We have 1 hour and a half before the concert, and then we have another artist talk after that. And you, Armando, can revenge to Diego tomorrow at his artist talk here, asking the tricky question. Just to remind, yeah. So, okay, let's take the last one, but really hope it's not.
Premièrement, merci pour votre présentation. La question, since you are so fond of the color black, you even wear the black, did you try to reflect on the connection between sound and color? I don't mean the banal, synesthetic connection, matches between, and so maybe something unexpected.
No, to me, well, I try to be short. Well, it starts. It starts when I was a student in composition. I find a poetry from a poet that's called Gilovic, French poet, and he has a poem which is entitled "Je t'écris," I wrote you, which is where he used a lot of the idea of black, and we didn't really know what is this idea of black, but we can guess it's something he had very inside, very deep inside him, and this poet very strikes me also, and it's I don't know, it resonates with something inside me, and since then it's something I'm searching. It's a pretext to search something. So maybe I like to explore all the idea in black, but there is not a precise idea. For sometimes I'm ask me, okay, I need to get the precise idea what is black for me. But the precise idea is it's a pretext to search what it is. I like the way I'm going through. Black is for me a way of going through ideas, and yes, it builds around me a whole universe. I think I'm building like my own world on this, and I like also. One last point with black, because it resonates a lot with me, is like I love contrast. Also in music, I love to get a heavy contrast, and black is a kind of a color that can has a lot of contrast. And when you are looking into art history. There are a lot of painters, architects that work with contrast. And for example, Pierre Soulages, who works with black color, and he paints only black paintings, but he doesn't want us to see black. He wants us to see light through black. And these contrasts are very interesting to me. Same with the architects like Tadao Ando, who is not working on black, but is working on light in his works, also Le Corbusier and architects like that. And these ideas are really resonate with what I'm looking for also into music. I think also to Rembrandt. I missed the name.
Yeah, but nevertheless, I think the garden that you show tomorrow is light. Yeah.
No, it will be empty garden.
No, sorry.
So, yeah, there is a little mistake.
It's neither nor. So
light garden is still under process
of formation.
Yeah.
Garden to be. And thanks a lot. And
so thank you.
So 10 minutes break, and then we meet here again for Angelica Castello, Artist Talk. Thank you.